Good evening. Welcome back to IIRL. In for the third and final stream of the week. Back at the Netherlands circuit, beautiful Zandvoort. Hello Wiggles and Lando, hope you are well. And instead of TD, you've got me. The SG. Gosh, I'm not turning into a rapper now, am I? Praise thy God. What are you on? Yes, TD unfortunately can't stream this evening, so it is your unfortunate pleasure that you have the Sun God here this evening. Stream looks very clear. That is good news. I've been testing my stream after what happened on Tuesday night. How goes? Goes good. Goes good, thanks. Hope you are well, Lando. We'll have a little bit of a chat in the 5-minute break about what happened at Brazil. So, a bit of a disclaimer right now. If you don't know the results, maybe mute during the 5-minute break. And for those who know the results, we can have a chat about what happened. Fresh orange juice and Monster Munch. Love that. What a lad. What flavour Monster Munch? My wife is very invested in your snacking, Mr. Wiggles. Don't you? Oh, if no one's seen it, then we won't talk about it. That's fine. If no one's seen it, we won't talk about it, and there won't be an issue. Pickled onion. I'm sure he's not eating pickled onion and drinking orange juice at the same time. That would clearly be wrong. Hello, Appy. Our championship leader is in the chat. On board with Spark. Still plenty of drivers in the pits, 12 out on the circuit right now. Still early days. Spark is first to come across the line for first flying lap. Beautiful circuit, very difficult to overtake on, so qualifying position is going to be very important. Spark does a 1:11.7. Supermac, half a second behind, and Clouded Tadpole a further 2/10 back, but Lekka Russ, 1:11.4. IIRL Hyper goes fractions ahead of Spark, and mark these slots into P4. APS Ria making that 1:11.7 group very congested. No Wiggles next week. Why is that? Oh, and Zog has no front wing. Took me 5 seconds to realise. Close field, says Lando. Indeed it is. Here at IIRL. Do tend to have very close racing. Of course, you always get a few drivers that are improving throughout the year. And those are usually the people that end up winning the championship. APS Always, I hope a Dutch guy wins. Well, we haven't had a Dutch winner this week. Chelsea with a banker lap, but we assume he can go much faster than that. Working alternate shifts. Oh, it's a shame you won't be there, but you get some dosh. Oh, and Chelsea's off there. Bit of a spin at turn 3. or turn 2, and in his attempt to come back onto the track, crashes into the wall and retires. So Chelsea will start plumb last. Can't tell if that was on purpose or whether that was an accident. And Chelsea has put in Discord that he doesn't even want to talk about it. So we can only assume that that was a complete accident. But yeah, Chelsea now has a 50-minute wait until the Grand Prix starts. I think what probably was expecting to happen was for the car to spin round and to avoid the wall, but it just didn't happen. Yes, unfortunately Chelsea, we did see that. I assume that was on accident and you were trying to spin the car around, but that's easily done. But you never know. Safety cars have come out in this race this week. Multiple times, in fact. So there's always opportunity to climb the ranks. Dissy into the pits. Hyper improves his time, gets out of that elusive group, the 111.7s. He's now into the 111.6s, trying to put a bit more pressure on Russ. And Tiamidale is on the lap. He may slightly be blocking that Williams there, who... trying to figure out who that Williams might be. It might be SLR Hickling, you know. Padge has retired, and he's crashed at the same corner that Chelsea has just retired on. So here you see it. Padge, unfortunately there, the Red Bull in the wall. Red Bull in the wall out of the qualifying session. See you in 45, says Chelsea. Actually, we might need you a bit towards the end of the session, as we need you to advance. So if you're still listening, we do need you to advance at the end of each session, if that's okay. Otherwise, it will just stick on a loading screen. So feel free to do whatever you want in between then, but yeah, maybe just have the stream open, and when the session finishes, yeah, just press A if that's okay. Yeah, it's a shame that Cody's changed that, because last game I think it was pretty good, where like it gave you a timer, but not on this game unfortunately. Lackares is out in front and sitting pretty right now. Hyperia, Spark and Mark probably all safe in the 111s, and the early 1 minute 12s, Tucker, Supermac, probably class Hissy in that as well. Probably looking pretty safe right now. We don't really know what the cut-off is. 5 drivers still to set a lap time. 2 drivers we know will be leaving us, unless their times aren't beaten by those bottom 5, and that is Padge and Chelsea. So only 3 drivers on the cusp of leaving us in this session. Maverick and Our Race both on flying laps, but Maverick going a little bit wide there. Easy to do that. Get a bit too zealous on the throttle through those right-handers. And Our Race is a little bit ahead of Maverick on track, and he too was invalidated. And a little bit of a slide out of the final corner. Let's go on board with the Mercedes of Take Her Easy. Hyper retiring. Early bath. he will most probably comfortably make it through to Q2. Let me know if there's any stream issues. I think I fixed the streaming issues on my Xbox, however, still early days. And there is a breakboard missing, I believe, into that left-hander, sorry. So hopefully that wasn't on purpose. Take her easy around the final couple of corners. Beautiful banked right-hander. Get a nice exit off here. DRS assistance to the line. We'll see where that Mercedes can go. P9, 1 minute 12.3. Here comes Alrays across the line. It's a 13.2 and that puts him in 13th place. Maverick goes P9. Lil Stamp goes P8. Tadpole goes 15th. Zog in 12th. So, Appy is on an outlap. And then everyone would have set a valid lap time. Currently in the drop zone is Alrays Lolza Pro. Patch and Chelsea will be leaving us. Battle now is between Appy and Clouded Tadpole. However, still plenty of opportunities for the likes of Clouded Tadpole, Alrays to get out of this session into Q2. And hello Spark. Hope you're well. Spark set the first lap time here this evening, and he's currently sat in P4, so nice handy lap there from Spark. I think Take Her Easy is gearing up for another run. Teammate is already on a lap, so let's check in with Appy. 24.9 in Sector 1. I believe that's pretty quick. And it's a sub 50 second middle part of the lap as well, so that is purple on our track map. Ria retires from third, but he should be comfortably through with that lap time. See where Appy can go. He is our championship leader. Will he be leading Q1 in a moment? No, we won't. 3 milliseconds ahead of our good friend Spark. P4 for Appy, but I'm sure he won't complain too much about that. That of course pushes Clouded Tadpole into bottom 3. Alrays is back out on track, as is the aforementioned Clouded Tadpole. Lolza Pro's on a lap. A little bit wide there perhaps, but sticks to the curb beautifully through turn 10. He's a second down on his time, and I've just realised he's not using ERS. You may have to retract calling me the stream god now. But he is gearing up for a new lap. We'll drop in on Hicklin, who is up in Sector 1. And as it stands, Hicklin's time is the one to beat, so if he can improve and jump ahead of Zog, I'm sure he will be happy with that. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking being P14, P15. He's half a second up, and maybe close to dropping in the 1 minute 11s. Which will be safe. Don, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the IIRL family. 3 streams a week in case you're unaware. Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. SLR Hicklin goes P7. Very nice lap. Should see him comfortably through. And we've got on board with the hometown boy himself, IIRL. Fractions up through Sector 1. Shame we haven't had IIRL on commentary at any point this week. He grew up just not too far away from this track at all. I'm sure he can tell you about all the history of this track, so... IIRL's big improvement in the middle part, 7 tenths. That is going to put him up to a 1 minute 12.5, which, as it stands, will put him P16, so still needs more improvement in this final sector, and may get a bit of slipstream here from Mark in the McLaren. It does do a 12.5, and it's not quite quick enough right now to put him through. Clouded Tadpole has a puncture on his front right. So maybe he's hit a barrier somewhere, or maybe there's some debris out on track, but that means Clouded Tadpole is going to leave us in Q1. He will not have enough time to get back into the pits. Oh, and there's a car around. That's a Haas of APS Zog, who is fighting to stay in qualifying. And that spin isn't going to help his cause right now. And he's spun again into the barrier. Probably would have got some side pod damage there. And that means that his chance of improving his lap time have all but gone now, which means it's either IIRL or Loza Pro. They have a really good opportunity here to jump ahead of Zog. Taker Easy's back out on the track and just starting a new lap. Spark gone quickest, by the way, 4/10 improvement on a 1:11.3. It's a Haas thing. Yeah, I think we saw Wiggles and Dayman on Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. Have a bit of a spin. So maybe it is just a Haas thing. Yeah, Clouded Tadpole with the puncture. He will be starting P18. And Zog with the spin at turn 1. He's just coming around the final corner now, so he may get enough time for one more run, and it looks like Zog is starting a new lap here, so keep an eye on that Haas in 15th. IIRL pits and will start 16th at best, but Loza Pro is on a lap and looking to knock him out. Loza Pro stays 17th. Can't improve on that lap time, but might be able to go for one more. Taker Easy goes up to P13, and that will put him into the safe zone. Zog is a couple of seconds down in Sector 1 here, so looking unlikely that he will improve. And Loza Pro is, I think, going for another lap. However, you can see by his ERS that he has just run out of juice here. And I wouldn't be surprised if through the Sector 2 split this wouldn't be an improvement. But we'll wait and see. Stranger things have happened. And there you have it, 9 tenths away from his personal best. Just too many laps in a row for the ERS to handle. So there you have it. Q1 has claimed victim to Chelsea Padge through crashes on the same corner, exiting turn 3. Clouded Tadpole, Loza Pro and IIRL. Spark tops the timetables, 1:11.3. Lacrosse with the one run. Those two perhaps looking like they can take confidence into the next couple of parts of qualifying. And if there is a driver in the chat, please let us know what the weather's doing. Dry and dry, says our race. Thank you very much. Thank you for the follow, the Gaz83. That was yesterday. Who's watching the stream? Thank you very much. So there you have it. 5 drivers out, 15 left. And we'll wait and see if Chelsea has readied up. Lovely stuff. Everyone advancing. Had some issues with that this week, so hopefully the drivers will work on that for next week. And in Q2, this is where strategy takes centre stage. And hello, Ross. Good evening. We will put the tyre graphic up on the screen. We are expecting to see quite a lot of people come out on the mediums. We've seen that a little bit of a trend this week. I said it on Tuesday, Wiggles. We do have a Discord server. However, I believe you make it to the Discord if you want to drive, and our recruiter gets you in. Or you can just join it. I don't know the rules. I don't make them. Yeah, if you want to race and you're on the Xbox platform, the person to talk to is IIRL Padge. And as APS Rio starts his flying lap, we'll do a bit of a track tour. Guide you around this beautiful Zandvoort circuit, which has been around for many years, even older than me. Very tricky, twisty sector 1. A couple of bank corners, turn 1 and turn 4. You've got this long series of flat out corners there. You need to be careful on those curbs. Sometimes the car can lose control, spin out, crash. Very tricky right-hander, drop down a gear or two and just let the momentum take you through that corner. Again, very tricky. Be careful on the exit there, that curb is deceptive. Through a series of sweeping right and left here. Very beautiful to drive when you get it right. DRS activation to help you get a little bit closer to the car in front in the race. Hit your braking point perfectly here, as if you run too far wide you will ruin your apex for turn 11, or turn 12, sorry. 13, you might think is the final corner, but turn 14. Pick your line very well here, because you can get a bit of an advantage doing some smooth driving through the banked 14 and Rio with a 1:11.6 across the line. Let's not forget he is using soft tyres. Those on the mediums will be a bit slower and may risk their opportunity to get into Q3 on the mediums, but for some of them they may get through on those medium compound tyres if they're quick enough. So far 4 lap times set on the mediums, 1 on the soft. Couldn't hook up a lap somehow. Real bad start in Zandvoort. It's not how you want to start your home race, but it's not over yet. Still many laps to go. Plenty of opportunities to get past someone. Can I join the racing? Lobby's full here tonight, but if you want to get involved in some racing, and if you're 18 years or older, talk to IIRL Padge. If you don't know his gamer tag, rewind the stream when it's posted, send him a message on Xbox. So, only one run on soft tyres, and APS rear sitting pretty up there in the mid 111s. What's the age limit? You have to be 18 or older. Zog improves his lap time and his place, jumps ahead of Appy, who has used the mediums. Oh, and Teamy Dale's off at the final corner. Bit of a spin, and looks like he's parking his car. Needs to be careful that he don't get disqualified here. I think Lekarus improved his time, went up to P3. Oh, my stream had the dreaded buffering circle. That's not what we want to see. I think we're all good though. Way older than 18, bruv. I think you're allowed to use that word, seeing as you're a dad of 2. Excellent. Well, if both of you want to race and you have an Xbox platform and you have the new game, yeah. Message IRL Padge on Xbox or Discord. See if we can get you in. Take her easy. Soft tyres. P5 for him. Everyone else is on the mediums. Apart from Rhea. Maverick now across the line. Where can he put his Ferrari? He can put it P11. Only 3 milliseconds behind Lil Semp. And here comes the second Ferrari now. Can Tucker beat his teammate and make it into the top 10 as it stands? Yes, he can. 1 minute 12.2 puts him in P9. Lekarus has equipped a set of the soft tyres now. Take her easy. Looks like he's on a flying lap here. Nope, he's coming into the bits. Love that. So, no one's on a flying lap right now unless those 2 Ferraris are on a second lap. But we have the likes of Supermat, Mark, Semp, Dale and Hicklin all on out laps. And there is a Ferrari going very slowly. That is Maverick just letting people through. Being a lovely, lovely racing citizen there. Teamy Dale, 4th in the championship right now. Not too far away from 3rd place. Hissy, only 3 points separating them, so we need to look out for that battle between Hissy and Dale. Hissy currently in the pits and currently last in terms of time set. But still, 6 minutes left of the session, plenty of time to get out. It's a very short lap here, so your out lap won't be too long, maybe about a minute and 20 for an out lap. Timmy, there goes P2, very nice. Fastest of the medium runners. It's one way to put your marker on this circuit. SLR Hicklin. Currently in the drop zone. Might be going for a second lap here in a row. Lil Semp also on a lap, and Supermac. How many tiers do you have? What's tier for slow drivers? That's where I belong. I'm sure you're not that bad, mate. We have a no assist tier on Tuesday nights for drivers who run no assist at all. No racing line, no ABS, no traction control, and so on and so forth. We have assist tier 1 and assist tier 2 for a pool of drivers who all use any kind of assist. Hicklin was on a lap but decided to probably pit for a set of soft tyres. And whether you're in tier 1 or tier 2 depends on your pace, which is decided at the start, well, before the start of the season. Supermac doesn't want to complete his lap, and Hyper's back out on the track on mediums. So maybe isn't confident that that time will get him through, but the more time you spend on those mediums, if you want to go through to Q3, we'll have to start the race on the same set of tyres that he's on right now. So if he wears them too much, he may hurt his race start. Wherever Sun God is. Very good. IIRL Hyper, part of our very committed and talented management team here in IIRL. Hyper does a lot of things on social media. Make sure to check out YouTube channel. All the copies of the races, I believe, are posted to YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. And Hyper does go purple in the middle sector, but goes red at the final couple of corners. Validation not going to help him. He's into the pits. Thinks, I might be starting the race on these tyres here. Spark not thinking that way. He's out on the softs. And with only 2 minutes 20 left, there's a lot of people still in the pits. Lil Semp still in the pits. He's in the drop zone. Hicklin, Hissy, Maverick, Mark, they're all on the track, as is Tuckerzog Spark, who goes fastest on the softs. Nice lap there from Sparky boy. Everyone, apart from Dale and Semp, have equipped soft tyres here, so expect to see a lot of these times changing. Here he goes P6. Lacarus is starting a new lap. Timmy Dale, you know, might commit to this medium run here. Might be a little bit of a squeaky bum time, if you get the reference. Or Fergie time, we should say, if you're a football fan. Zog now across the line. He's currently P10. He goes P3 ahead of his teammate. I'm sure his teammate will not be very happy. Hicklin has invalidated and Maverick has spun at the same point we saw Chelsea spin earlier. Oh, and I think that's Semp and Hyper. We've also got Zog and Tucker. So maybe all four of those drivers caught up in a little bit of a distraction. They may not have been blocked outright, but may have been slightly distracted on their lap. And of course, this is the lap that counts for a lot of these drivers. Only 30 seconds left of the session. The session? What's a session? Lecker Russ into the 1 minute 10s. What a lap that is. And I doubt you'll see many faster qualifying lap times than that this evening. Safely through. Tucker 2 tenths up and some more traffic for him. As Lil Semp. You may lose downforce running this close to drivers, but you also may get a nice little bit of slipstream on the main straight. Checker flag has fallen. And Lil Semp is out of the session. Take Her Easy is also out in the Mercedes. Tucker goes P6, and that pushes Supermac now into the drop zone. He is on a lap. Maverick is on a slow lap. We saw him spin earlier on, so he will be leaving us in P14. That is unless Hicklin can jump ahead of him. He's currently in 15th. SLR Hicklin goes 7th, and he is safe. APS Appy is currently P9 and I think is safe. The only person that can knock him down is Supermac, and then he will be in P10. So Appy is safe by the skin of his teeth, but IIRL Hyper here could be on the threshold of leaving us in Q2. If Supermac can go ahead of Hyper's time, and he doesn't. Oh, only half a tenth in that. Very close there between TME Dale and Supermac, between P8 and P12. Wow. Just one mistake or one better corner from any of those drivers could have put them at the top of that little group of 5 or 6 drivers. So there you have it. Spark took Q1 as fastest. Lecarus takes Q2 as fastest. And top 13, top 12, all within a second of the leading time. Leaving us this session, Maverick, Semp, Take Her Easy. The two Mexicans, Supermac and Hissy. They will all have a free choice of tyre for the start of the race. IIRL Hyper, Appy and TME Dale getting through on the mediums, and that may give them a bit more advantage in strategy come the race. Hicklin, Tucker, Mark, Zog, Rhea, Spark and Russ all through to Q3 too. And in Q3, strategy takes a back seat. We'll pick that up in about 15 minutes' time. Pure pace takes over here. And TME Dale is first. No, Zog is first out on the track for Q3. We've got SLR Hicklin out on the track behind the Haas, and we've got APS Appy and Hyper coming out very close together. Let's get your predictions in the chat. There's 18 of you here this evening. Hope you're all enjoying the stream. Hope you've all had a really good weekend. Let us know who you think is going to be up there for a shot of pole position in this session. Rhea out on the lap, as is Spark, and now Mark. We've got TME Dale coming out of the pits, and the Alfa Romeo of Russ. He definitely seems to have potential to go sub 1 minute 11 again. Tucker just coming out of the pits right now, so all 10 drivers out on the circuit. And it looks like those 4 drivers at the back of the field have plenty of track space here to conduct their flying laps. As of course this man, Zog, front of the pack. .24.9 for Zog, very strong first sector. Anything sub 25 second, I'd say, is pretty good. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle. Copying another unnamed hash driver in IIRL. Out of turn 7, I believe that is. And that may have hurt his middle sector. So, Zog sets the benchmark at a 1 minute 12. Hicklin can't beat that, 1:12.3 for him. IIRL Hyper, 1:11.3, very nice. That's his personal best, I believe, for the evening. Great lap there. APS Appy does a 1:11.8, goes P2. APS Ria goes provisional pole by exactly 1/10. And Spark puts in a 1:11.5, but we've seen him go quicker than that in Q1. Mark goes P5, 100th quicker than Zog. As Team Ideo goes second fastest, splitting Ria and Hyper. Lucky Russ, a 1:11.8, which is considerably slower than what he achieved last session, so we may see Russ improve his time on the second run. Tucker slots into P9. So round 1 goes to APS Ria in the AlphaTauri. That brings 7 different constructors teams in the top 7. Zog is round. Yellow flag. He is reversing to try and get out of the way and spin his car round. I don't think Russ is on another lap. No, so he's safe there, is Zog. He's not going to block Russ at all. Zog lucky he didn't retire, get disqualified from that session. Mark D's retired, and that is at the same place we saw Hadge crash as well. On board with Russ, and I believe he is going for a second run. There you can see. Crash from Mark, and he will start P5 at best. But want to hope that Appy, Russ, Zog, Tucker and Hicklin can't beat his time. Like a Russ, a fraction up through sector 1, taking a lot of outside curb. Short shifting up the gears there up to 7th, trying to get control of his car. Doesn't want to lose traction on the exit. And fractionally up in sector 2. So needs a big improvement in sector 3 if he wants to challenge for provisional pole. And it is a big improvement in sector 3. It's a 1:11.1, and that is provisional pole for the Alfa Romeo. got Hyper and Hicklin. I'm sure Hyper and Hicklin will be huffing and puffing to try and get rounds and improve their lap times. Hyper looking alright, still on the second row of the grid, which is certainly not too shabby. However, Hicklin, I'm sure he'll be hoping for a little bit better than P10. Half a tenth down in Sector 1 is Hyper. And a little bit wide there. Had to slow down to not get invalidated and to avoid a big crash. And he's backed off of this, I believe. He's turned his ERS off. Probably gearing up for another run. So let's check in with Hicklin. See what he is on lap time wise. Through the Sector 2 split. He's quarter of a second up, which is going to put him around P8 in a battle with Zog, but a bit more improvement, and may drop into the 1 minute 11s. Everyone out on track apart from Dale and Mark, who has crashed earlier in this session. Hicklin goes into the 1 minute 11s and goes P8. APS Ria now was on provisional pole until Russ's second run on those same set of soft tyres. Let's see if Ria can fight back. Spark, Appy, Tucker all on out laps, so not on flying laps right now. Tucker just starting his. Becca Russ is coming around the final corner. I believe he may go into the pits here. And I think he's going for yet another run, is Russ. Spark starting his flying lap. And the Mercedes of Appy coming round to start his flying lap too. So everyone on flying laps apart from Timmy Dale. Plenty to look out for. Hyper pits. I believe that's Hicklin coming around the final corner, and he drops into the pits too. Still enough time for those three to come out. APS Ria now. Looking for a couple of tenths. It's a slow lap, but he will go again. Spark. Only a fraction off of his best in Q1, but stops the ERS. And Appy is rounds at his home Grand Prix. Dutch drivers struggling tonight, it would seem. Tucker improved his time by half a second, goes P7. Very nice there from the Ferrari driver. Displaces Appy. Appy down to P8. Like a Russ into the pits. Zog also pitting. Timmy Dale, his teammate, is out on track now, as is Hyper. APS Appy coming round after his slow lap to go for a flying lap. Wonder if we'll see any of those two in the pits come out of the pits in this session. Russ maybe. No, both of them won't be doing that. APS Ria pits from P2, so he won't be able to challenge for provisional pole. He will start on the front row though, which isn't a bad place to start. Zog is coming out for an out lap here, but he's not going to have enough time to get rounds. And Appy's a 10th up in the middle sector. Behind him we've got the Williams of Hicklin, I believe. He's on an out lap. He'll get round to start a new lap time. Next across the line will be TME Dale after Appy. Appy goes P6. And if he's got enough fuel, may go for one more run at the end of this session. TME Dale is on a slow lap, but gearing up to start a new one. Very close between Dale and Spark, only 8 milliseconds. Spark will be hoping that he can jump ahead of the Haas and possibly make it onto the front row of the grid. We'll see what he's doing through Sector 2 split very shortly. It's a 49.5 and that is pretty quick. He's just under a tenth up, which is going to put him around the front row of the grid here, so a good last sector from Spark. And he may be able to challenge for a front row, if not pole position here. Zog finished the session, didn't get around in time, but here comes Spark now. Can he steal pole? No, he can't. He misses out by 3 milliseconds. And Hyper goes P3 by, similarly, very, very close margin. Super close at the top. Look at that. 3 drivers in the 111.1, and APS Appy is still out on track here, but he is running out of ERS. And that has cost him no improvement on his time. But TME Dale is 2 tenths up. And he could be on for provisional pole here. And he does. He gets it on the line. TME Dale. Pole position for the Haas. And there you have it. Look at those top 5. Rhea just 1 minute ago was on the front row of the grid, and now he starts in 5th place. On row 3 alongside his compatriot Appy. Dutch driver Russ and Tucker both into the top 10. And Russ, a very good performance there, just until TME Dale nipped him at the line. Spark and Hyper make it a British row 3. Very close between all of these drivers, super close between Appy, Mark and Tucker. All in the 111.5s. Hicklin and Zog on row 5. And all in all, I'd say that was a very entertaining qualifying session. Indeed, that was close, Spark. Doing well to make it onto row 2 in 3rd place. Still, if you have a good start, you never know. Maybe able to swing it around the outside of the Alfa Romeo. And that makes it 9 different teams in the top 9 places on the grid. I'm sure will be very interesting for the Constructors' Championship. And as we head into the 5-minute break, we'll have a look at the Constructors' standings. In the lead we have Mercedes, APS Appy and Take Her Easy. They have a nice 29-point gap on the Red Bulls of Hyper and Padge. Very close battle for P3. We've got Haas on 94, Alpine 87, McLaren 83. They're all within 10 points of each other. That could swing round tonight. And very close too between Williams and AlphaTauri. Only 2 points separating them two. And Red Bull scored the most points last week in Belgium with 33 total points. So Red Bull having a good race last week. Can they replicate that at Zandvoort? As for driver standings, APS Appy leading by 27 points, so whatever happens tonight he will still be the leader of the pack tonight. Hyper is 27 points behind. In second place, Hissy in third, and Timido in fourth. As we mentioned, only 3 points between those two drivers. APS Ria in fifth, and then comes a long list of drivers very close to each other. Got Supermac in sixth, Alpha Matti seventh, Stappy in eighth, Hicklin ninth, Zog 10th. And that midfield battle is going to be very fascinating. This is round 10 of the championship. We have 23 races planned. That includes the rescheduled Austrian Grand Prix, which was abandoned a few weeks ago. Next week on IIRL we have live coverage of the Monza Grand Prix in Italy, where we will be having our sprint format introduced, just like real life F1 this season. So we'll have a short qualifying session, which dictates the start of the grids, which dictates the grid for a 25% race, sprint race, and the conclusion of the sprint race will determine the grid for a 50% race. So, if you like the sprint format, in real life F1 this season, as we had today at Brazil, no spoilers from me, but if you enjoy that format, join us on IIRL in the next week. Tuesday night, Thursday night and Sunday night. If you're in the chat, let us know. Who do you think is going to be on the podium here tonight? Dale starting on pole. Russ, Spark, Hyper, Ria, all within 0.2 of each other in Q3. Any of them could have a shot at winning this race. Russ and Spark should have good momentum off the line using soft tyres, but they will have to make an earlier pit stop. This race really poised beautifully, I have to say. And indeed, Wiggles, let's go Power Rangers. Apologies to anyone if you don't get that reference. But I love the fact I get that reference. So then, 9 different constructors in the top 9 portions of the grid, and it looks like Russ is a bit slow getting off the line there. And drivers have done well not to get disqualified there. A Haas at the front, indeed, and what a mighty lap it was from Dale. He leads the pack away on the formation lap. This is the tyre data that I'm sure many people are interested to see. Dale, Hyper, Ria, Appy. Got through on the mediums into Q3, so we'll start on the mediums. Russ and Spark, watch out for them. They might have a good start with better traction off the field using those soft tyres. Off the field, off the track. Full support for the Haas. Well, Haas only constructor with 2 drivers in the top 10 in qualifying. Mark D, Tucker, Hicklin, Zog, all starting on the soft. As for the bottom 10, they have free choice, so this is what they've decided. Hissy in 11th, medium tyre. Supermac on the hards, going long on that first stint. We'll hope for no safety car early on. Take her easy, soft tyre, so again, watch out for him. He may have a really good start and jump up into the points. Semp on the mediums, Maverick on the hards. Aures on the soft, looking to gain positions in his home Grand Prix. Lolza Pro on the hard tyre, making it 3 drivers on the hard tyre at the start of the race. You don't see that too often, but you're seeing it here tonight. Padge and Chelsea at the back of the field. Yet to see their true pace, as they both crashed out of Q1. And they will start on the medium tyres. So all in all, we have 9 runners on the soft, 3 on the hard. And that leaves 8 on the mediums. A pretty even spread then between the red and yellows. And we'll see just how effective each tyre can be. We're hoping and praying for not a lot of safety cars. We've had some safety cars this week. Will we see any more safety cars? Well, the Zandvoort Grand Prix is getting underway. And with assist here too. Oh, and it looks like Russ has either stalled or has just forgotten that the race was going. And he's lost an awful lot of places. He got a bit of a shunt from, I think that was, I can't remember who it was behind him on the grid. It might have been APS rear. But Tiami Dale comes out of the first sector and he is leading this Grand Prix. Issy is retired, and that is coming out of the banked left-hander. On board now with Aures, we'll have a look, and there you see it, into the wall, wheel off. And will there be a safety car here? No safety car yet. Issy has left the session, unfortunate for him. And we still carry on. The car is cleared, and there is no safety car. I'm sure everyone is cheering at home. Chelsea having a monster start. He started last, he's now up to 12th place. Great start there for the McLaren, as is Mark D. Really good start from him. Up to 4th. Tiami Dale leads APS rear. Those soft runners not able to use that advantage. We saw Russ have a bit of a bad start. He's down in P9. But Spark, unable perhaps to use those soft tyres to capitalise. 2 medium runners out in front. Lolza Pro and Hyper pit. And it seems like Spark is defending hard from Mark, Hicklin and Tucker. Careful Wiggles. Because if anything happens to Tiami Dale, it won't be the commentator's curse, it'll be your curse. Chelsea has dropped there, and 8 seconds adrift of Semp, so he's had an issue. Padge meanwhile has capitalised on that, he's up to 13th. Chelsea's still holding on to 15th, but he is defending to Supermac now. Fastest lap changing hands quite frantically now. Russ has it, 1 minute 14.0. DRS is now enabled, it is lap 3. And talking of Russ, he has put his bad start behind him. A little bit of a nudge on Take Her Easy. Running so close to the car in front. Bound to happen at some point. maybe a bit of a loss of downforce there. I don't know if that's to do with a slight bit of damage that Russ may have, or whether that's to do with just losing downforce in general, but he does go a bit... He's going a little bit wide into these corners. He may have some damage that we don't know about. APS Appy certainly didn't have to break out his expert racing skills there. APS Appy now, next up the road for him is his teammate. Evening TD, who hates this track. Lovely, well, and Lecaras does pit, so he did have damage. Padge moving past Maverick on the straight with DRS assistance. Now Lil Semp on the back of these two. Can Maverick fight back? Padge crashed in Q1, qualified 19th. Having a great few laps. 3 laps done. 8 places gained. Very nice there for the Red Bull driver, who has a couple of seconds up the road, where he will find the AlphaTauri of Clouded Tadpole, who is currently holding on to the last point. Spark still defending from Mark, but Hicklin has dropped back slightly, and he's got his own fight on his hands, trying to defend from Tucker and Zog. Meanwhile, Tiami Dale is defending hard from rear, and it looks like Spark is gaining some ground now on these two leaders. So maybe Spark will join the top 2 and make it a bit of a train in the top 4. We did see a big DRS train on Tuesday night. I wonder if we'll see another one. Looks like these two have settled into a nice rhythm. Wouldn't say that either one is faster than the other, lapping at very similar lap times here. And it looks like Spark has dropped off a little bit this lap, so maybe it's just the inconsistency of the soft tyres, which of course do wear easier than the mediums, or whether Spark had an issue, or whether these two out front are just driving expertly well. Or perhaps a combination of all these things. Either way. Oh, and Dale is round, and that, you probably could say that's commentator's curse. As I said, these two driving expertly well. And then Tiami Dale dropping it out of the final corner. Tiami Dale had the world at his fingertips there. Spin easily done. Actually, I blame Wiggles for that. He's a Haas driver. Wiggles put too much pressure on him. That's what I'm blaming it on. Anyways, APS Rhea leads. Gap is up to 2.1 seconds now to Spark. So Rhea is pulling away from Spark, who is still defending hard from Mark behind. Tucker up into P4 and defending from APS Zog, who now has his teammate behind him instead of leading the race. Padge up into the points, past Tadpole and Maverick, so Padge is on a charge here this evening. Watch out for him. I'm going to monitor that gap between Padge and Appy for P8. It's currently at 2 seconds. APS Rhea with the fastest lap, pulling out another half a second on Spark in that middle and last sector. So APS Rhea is flying right now, fastest man out on the track. Mark having a little bit of a sighter up the inside of turn 4. No opportunity to pass Spark at this present moment, as Spark perhaps may not have the race win in his sights, may just have a podium on his agenda. However, that gap has come down in that first sector, so maybe Spark has some more straight line speed. And Lonza Pro is out, he's retired in the pit, so that should not bring out a safety car. And as it stands, things are looking pretty good for Maverick, who started on the hard tyre. He's currently in 10th in the points. Probably will go onto the soft tyre for his final stint. And that will make him a little bit quicker than those around him. There's Chelsea a lap down, moving out of the way. Very sporting of him. Two Alfa Romeos not having a race that they're hoping for, and that is, it looked like a car in the middle of the track on my screen. Two Dutch drivers, Russ and Alrace, 16th and 17th, and Russ puts in a fastest lap. Still, this battle rages. Can Mark get a move done on Spark? Mark and Spark, gosh, they sound like a boy band. And Zog is out. What's happened there? It's a safety car. And there he is, Zog. Crashing at turn 10. Safety car is now out. Rear pits. As does Spark, as does Mark. Tucker into the pits as well. Teamy Dale follows suit, as does Take Her Easy. As does Appy, who will be behind his teammate and will have a double stack here. However, safety car is out. It will bunch them up. Padge into the pits as well. Hicklin follows suit, as does Tadpole. We've got Maverick, who is the only one to stay out so far. Semp pits, Supermax stays out, Hyper stays out, Russ into the pits. Alrace we don't know about yet. Maybe oversteer, yeah, perhaps. Easy to lose it at a place like that. Could have dipped a wheel on the grass. Supermac with a 5-second penalty for a collision with Appy. And what has happened there? Appy is round as he's exited the pits. So Supermac stayed out. So I wonder, as Supermac came round the first couple of corners, Supermac was then fighting Appy and continuing to race perhaps. Bit of contact, Appy's round, and could potentially have damage to that car. Interesting news though, Rhea, Spark and Tucker all on the soft compound tyre. And of course, lap 9 of 36, those soft tyres will not last that long. No way, Jose. So, expect to see Rhea, Spark, Tucker, Clouded Tadpole and Lil Semp, who has just got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Hicklin under safety car. Hicklin's got that penalty too. Expect to see all of those 5 drivers into the pits. Lil Semp possibly, yep, pitting to serve that penalty. So we can't get that removed from the stewards, as the safety car has bunched them together. And a new front wing for Semp. So maybe running into the back of Hicklin there. Appy 2 does pit, so he did have damage we didn't know about. Couldn't correct that one, says Zog. Very unfortunate. Shame to lose you this early in the race. Having a good race up in P5. You win some, you lose some. And on some, you get an unwanted bit of oversteer and bin it in a wall. Safety car is in this lap. Everyone catching back up to the field on lap 10. And it's a very late call, and APS rear has to decide when he's going to go for it here. Drivers behind need to be careful they don't go too soon. APS rear looks like he's got it spot on, and Maverick has capitalised there down the inside of Mark, and he's got the safety car restart spot on. Maverick up into P3. Mark not having the best safety car restart from his perspective, as behind us we've got a lot of drivers going side by side. We've got Hyper, Padge, Dale, all following Take Her Easy. Very frantic safety car restart for a lot of these drivers. And so close to the back of the car in front. Each of these drivers need to be careful that they don't overdo it, get any damage. Nice move there from Dale around the outside of the Mercedes. Oh, Take Her Easy. A late lunge, you'd have to say, but looked like it was pretty clean. Got the car stopped in time. Both drivers giving enough space. Dale comes out on top. Wow, that was a very bold move. Oh, and who's lost it? It's Hyper. Hyper's round at the final corner. Just looked like he had to take the inside line off that banked final corner. Alvarez into the pits, not having a nice home race. Lil Semp is also round, and APS Appy just trying to... Well, he did catch up to the back of the field, so he's had an issue as well in this lap. I wonder if he's had a bit of a spin or maybe some contact with Semp. But lots going on up and down the field. Unfortunately, we can't catch every single battle. We've got a nice little battle for P3 here between the two Ferrari drivers. APS rear has pulled a 1.2 second gap on Spark. Spark trying desperately to reel him in. Lap 13 next time around. DRS will be activated. DRS, there you go, enabled. Not this lap, so Tucker won't have it on Maverick right now. Deciding not to go for any silly move on his teammate. Very smart decision there. Very astute memory there from Wiggles. Two Ferraris in P3 and P4. We saw that with APS Appy and Prev in the no assist tier race on Tuesday. And the more that these two fight, the more that Mark and TME Dale are closing up to the back of these two. APS rear pulling away from Spark now. Gap is at 1.8 seconds, 1.9 seconds now. So maybe APS rear has that little bit more pace, and with DRS assistance now, Tucker down the inside of Maverick. They are side by side, giving each other enough space. That's what we like to see. Tucker makes that move done, and now is going to hope to drive away from his teammate before the likes of Mark and Dale are going to look to close up on Tucker again. Maverick a little bit wide. Those hard tyres past their best by date, you'd have to say. Maverick still has to pit, the only one who needs to pit for a mandatory pit stop. Supermac was the other one, but he is into the pits right now. And he's onto the medium tyre. And Tucker has got a second gap on his teammate here. Chelsea is retired, and that is coming out the flat. Right-hander, Appy, there's another safety car. And there is Chelsea's corpse. Is that too morbid? probably. And let's hope his driver isn't deceased. But Chelsea is out of this race. And safety car 2 is upon us. And let's check in with the leaders. Rhea stays out. Spark hits though. I wonder if he's going onto medium tyres. No, he's going onto the hards for the rest of the race. Tucker stays out. Mark and Dale and Padge all stay out. Maverick, this is a gift for him as he pits, but he goes onto the soft compound tyre. And with 19 laps remaining, that will be interesting to see if he can make those last. I highly doubt it. However, stranger things have happened. And I've already said that phrase tonight. Lots of people pitting. Appy, Hicklin, our race, take her easy. This brings, of course, all of those drivers, plus Supermac and Lil Semp, back into contention. Spark should have gone medium, said TD. Well, at least we know now that Spark doesn't have to make another pit stop. We're also not expecting Russ, who was recovered out of nowhere, to come into P7. Also Padge in P5, having a great race from last on the grid, or 19th on the grid, up 14. Also Tierney, Dale and Mark have been up in the top 5 all race. We know that them 4 definitely don't have to pit again. For the likes of Tadpole, Tucker and Rhea, we are expecting them to come into the pits at some point before the end. We are not sponsored by Stranger Things. I wish we were. That would be pretty cool. But stranger things have happened. My wife's slating me in the background because I've not seen Stranger Things. Thank you. Hyper spun, said Wiggles. So, safety car, just waiting on the Mercedes to take her easy in 16th. Pitted this lap onto a new set of mediums. They should go the rest of the distance, as will the hard tyres, but those new softs from Maverick probably won't. Could push them as long as he can, and maybe with a couple more safety cars might be able to squeeze it. Safety car in this lap. I was just checking something on my computer, and Mark, that was a bad time for the safety car to come in at a late time. Mark is around at turn 1. Bit of contact there between Tucker, it looks like. APS rear leading away on the safety car restart. And Mark, after having a very strong race this evening, finds himself at the back of the fields. Spark has also lost 5 seconds and is losing more time here, so I wonder if Spark has got some damage on that restart. APS Ria has looked in control of this race from the word go. already has a 1.4 second gap on Tucker. Dale holding third and final podium slot. However, does have a penalty to his name, so Padge right now will be on the podium as Tadpole pits. And I wonder if he's got damage, because that's an odd time to pit. No, he's onto the hard tyre, so that was premeditated. Perhaps he wanted to in the safety car. Very close here. Lecaras is up into 5th place. Qualified P2. Was doing so well at the start. Had a setback, forced him down to the back of the field, and is on a fantastic recovery drive right now. But has to now defend from RPR Maverick on brand new soft tyres. Bit of a wiggle there for Alrays. Having a nice recovery drive. Alrays been at the back of this field in qualifying and in the race, but finds himself in P8 and in the slipstream of APS Appy, who is in the slipstream of RPR Maverick. We may see a little bit of a DRS train form behind the Alfa Romeo of Russ. Alrays off the track slightly. Hyper needs to do well not to make any contact side by side through this corner. Only going to end one way, that I'm afraid. Just can't go around the outside of that corner. And Tucker's off. Tucker off at turn 10. Trying desperately not to get in the way. That's a bit of front wing off his car, so he'll need to probably pit. And that has now released APS rear into a 3-second advantage out front. Team Dale still has Padge behind him, who I have to say is looking a very strong contender for driver of the day as it stands. Padge on identical tyres as Dale. Needs to be careful. Maverick is now past Russ for P4. And I'll tell you what, if Maverick can make a miracle here and make those soft tyres last, could be in with a shout here of a podium. Will they last to the end? I highly doubt it, but if a safety car comes out, who am I to say no? Maverick is the only one who will really know. APS rear pits. We did expect to see him into the pits, as we do Lil Semp. And that releases Team Dale into the lead of this race. But as it stands, Padge is doing the last to first challenge. And Dale with that 5-second time penalty. Padge is your net leader. APS rear onto the mediums for the final stint of this race for the last 15 laps. And I wonder where APS rear can get to. All the drivers in front of him have 5-lap-old tyres. So rear will have a distinct advantage. Tadpole into the pits and a 5-second penalty onto his time. Hyper is round again. Hyper not having the best of race here tonight. Padge's John B. conspiracy. APS Appy out of nowhere. He's passed Russ up into P4. And now on the back of Maverick here. SLR Hicklin, time penalty. Multiple warnings, and here comes APS Appy. Thinks better of it. It's Mexico versus the Netherlands for P3. Majestic is doing a Hamilton. Indeed, we won't give anything away about what happened at the Brazilian Grand Prix. The Dutch are coming. Indeed, and we saw how quick Appy was on Tuesday night, and he didn't even have a setup on, so imagine how quick he can be this evening with a setup on. Unless he forgot to put one on himself again. That would be ironic, wouldn't it? Appy within striking distance. We've also got SLR Hicklin defending hard from Supermac and Rhea, who has just pitted for brand new tyres. So, go on board with Appy down the main straight, and it looks like he is close enough to Maverick. Pulls out to the inside line, gets that move done very nicely indeed. But as for APS Rhea, he's going to have the best exit off of that final corner. But 2 cars ahead of him, Supermac with DRS, bit of contact there, and it looks like APS Appy has got past the pair of them. Inside line into turn 3, forced to the outside for the bank turn 4. Appy could swing this out, and beautifully done there, APS Appy. 2 places in 1 sector. Oh, and the 2 Williams collide. Supermac is out of the race. Oh, and rule number 1 is don't crash into your teammate. That will bring out another safety car. And this is music for the leading 2. For Dale and Padge, they can ditch those hard tyres and put on a set of probably soft tyres at this point. But there you have it, Supermac and Hicklin. Collision. And that is not helpful for either of them. Padge stays out. A bold call. Timmy Dale, 3-second time penalty. APS Appy staying out. His tyres can go to the end, so he's not too bothered. Padge thinks my tyres can go to the end. I'm not too bothered. APS Rhea, no surprise, he's staying out. Hicklin is staying out too. Maverick will exit the pits in 5th. Or will he? Yes, he will. Take her easy. Slots into 6th place. Timmy Dale and Russ both pitting. Russ, I'm sure, happy to get those hard tyres off the car. Hyper in 9th. Spark, new tyres for him. He's into the points. After a couple of issues on safety car restarts, it looked like. Had a good, strong start to the race. Hoping for a strong end to the race. Tadpole, another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Seems to be his kryptonite. Auray's in 12th, Mark in 13th, and is round. And retires on track. That's a little bit naughty there. Tadpole 14th, Tucker in 15th, however they'll go up a place. Tucker is actually in this field, so he is a lap down. But Clouded Tadpole isn't, so we will have to wait for the AlphaTauri to come up. Indeed, TD, that is a bit naughty. It is against the IIRL rules. If you want to retire early from a race, that's fine. Just do it in the pits. I know it's under safety car, so it's not like it will bring the safety car out, but it may prolong the safety car, which may affect the rest of this race. So it is a bit naughty from him. And I wonder if we're going to get any very late safety car calls. Padge is your race leader, but he is on 15-lap old hard tyres, so he has a job to do here to defend for the remaining 10 or 11 laps. APS Appy recently pitted onto those mediums and should be in relatively good condition. And we've seen him fight his way back up the field. So expect to see Appy challenge for the race win. And APS Rhea pitted even earlier than Appy. And Rhea has been on fire this evening. He's up into P3. And I'm sure he'll have his eye on that top spot on the podium. Lap 26 of 36. We have 10 laps left of this race. Hopefully the safety car will be in now, as Clouded Tadpole is just approaching the back of the field. APS Appy leading the championship, and he's in P2 right now. And with Hyper only in P9, collecting 2 points as it stands, APS Appy is due to extend his lead from 27 points to 43 points. Safety car is in this lap. Padge will back up the field. And Padge will do well to defend here from the two behind on mediums. He's gone now, and it looks like he's timed that to absolute perfection, but here come the two medium runners, Rhea and Appy. Padge has judged that perfectly, but he hasn't quite judged turn one perfectly. He's round at turn one, he's into the wall, and slight contact. And that is ever so unlucky for Padge, who has had an excellent race. P19 to P1 on the restart. And that is desperately unlucky. And because the field is bunched up, there may be enough time to clear that car without a safety car coming out, and that could be good news for the likes of Appy and Rhea, who are now the two leaders of this race. Rhea looking for a move on Appy. Let's not forget Rhea has been in fine form this evening, both in qualifying and in the race, and is a very strong contender for driver of the day. He's done a U. Goodness. No DRS until lap 3 of the safety car restart. This is the second lap, so one more time around and then DRS will be activated, and maybe Rhea will have a good shot at getting past APS Appy, who has been on those medium tyres 6 laps longer, and that could be the difference between winning and finishing second here. Rio really looking like he has the grip. Appy looks like he's struggling a little bit with traction. Let's not forget these two could be pretty solid for P1 and 2, whichever way they finish. Tikarizi has been overtaken by Russ, and in fact they're going side by side through turn 10. Tikarizi getting past Russ there, but Russ trying to fight back. Thought for a move up the inside. Aston and Alpine going side by side. Aston thought better of the dive bomb. That's Lil Semp on the soft tyre, so has plenty of tyre advantage. APS rear now. No DRS on this main straight, but DRS is now enabled. Appy going a little bit deep into one. Rear very close indeed. Tikarizi and Russ still going side by side. And just get the fact that the more this goes on, the more it could end in tears for one or both of these drivers. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Hyper now looking for a move. And that is a very bold place to go for a move. He's made it stick. I have to say, that's a great move. Well done there from Hyper. Very brave to go side by side through that flat out section. And he's made it stick. Maverick now on new tyres on the back of Hicklin. Has DRS. Around the outside. Squeezed a little bit onto the grass. Hicklin maybe can't slow that car down very well, being on those old hard tyres. And now Russ is all over the back of the Ferrari. Now APS rear. Overtake is engaged. DRS is open. And APS Appy maintains the lead. And Alvarez has crashed out of the final corner. And he is out of the race. And the safety car is out of the pits. For the 4th time this evening. Alvarez joins a list of 8 drivers who have retired from this Grand Prix. Everyone in for softs, says TD. Well, one person that doesn't need to pit is Tierney Dale. He's already pitted onto the soft tyres, but he's a bit too far back behind the pack to jump anyone on pit stops. For the likes of Hicklin, this will be an absolute relief. He's done really well to hold on to P3, but I'm sure he will be very, very happy to have a set of soft tyres potentially waiting. Appy stays out, and so does Rhea. Both of them perhaps playing mind games here. Oh, the Red Bull of Hyper wanted to pit, but no one else pitted, so he stayed out. Tikarizi pits. Currently, he's the only one to pit for new soft tyres. Wow, we expected a lot of people to pit then, but only one of the top 10 did. And it may be the case here that Tikarizi has the best possible strategy heading into the last 5 or 6 laps. But of course, it's not about the tyres you're on, it's about can you get the moves done before the end of the race. Tucker on the back of this train. I believe he's lapped. Yes, he is. He's lapped. So he's just staying out of the way, which I think is a very smart move. Doesn't want to affect anyone's race. And we're just waiting on Tierney Dale to catch up to the back of the pack. We should have enough laps for Dale to catch up. Oh, and Spark A 5-second penalty for what looks like an illegal overtake on the Aston Martin, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe it's just a bug, and maybe they are in the right places on the grid. And maybe Spark could send that into the stewards and try and get that removed. But we'll have to wait and see. Final 5 laps. It's going to be yet another sprint finish. What makes this one different is everyone is on a varying degree of different tyre. Different tyre ages, different tyre compounds up and down the field. And again, we've got some more overtaking between Spark and Semp. Just keep an eye on these two. Dale is on the back of the field, so safety car will be in this lap, and Spark is now past Lil Semp again. I'm not quite sure which position any of these drivers, any of these two, are supposed to be in. You see it, safety car in this lap. Which means APS Appy, sorry, on 16 lap old medium tyres, has the very difficult job of trying to get a good restart on Rhea, who has a lot fresher tyres behind him. Watch out for Russ, Maverick. They're all on fairly new medium tyres. They can use their tyre advantage to their benefit come the end of the race in just 4 laps time. Lap 33 of 36, we are back underway racing, and it looks like a good restart here from Appy. He's done well. Behind him we got Hicklin still defending down the inside. There goes Russ, and it looks like Russ has got that move done. Hicklin slots in behind into P4. Maverick and Hyper going side by side. Hyper just dropped back there. And round the outside out of nowhere comes Lil Semp. Oh, and a bit of oversteer for Maverick, or was that contact? Who knows? But Maverick is out of this race. And there may not be a safety car because they were all bunched up and they've all gone past the accident. Maverick is the 9th driver to retire from this race. Looked like oversteer. Yep, it did look like oversteer to me. But who knows if there was a bit of a nudge from behind. APS Appy leads Rhea by half a second. Spark losing out to TME Dale, who is on the newest tyres on the grid. He can make his way past Hyper. Could find himself with a reasonable shout for a podium here. Big queue forming behind Hicklin, as we saw before the safety car came out. Lil Semp, will he swing around the outside? No, thinks better of it on this occasion. Hyper and Dale waiting in the wings. Clouded Tadpole pits from 10th. Much overspeed there for the Aston Martin. Needs to be careful he doesn't away. Side by sides. Bit of wheel contact. Hyper looking to go down the middle of both of them. Semp gets that move done. Hyper round the outside of the Williams. A bit of contact. Hicklin really struggling on his tyres. Dale down the inside now. He's up into P6. Meanwhile, this is now a 3-way fight for the lead. Russ is putting his foot to the floor. And now he's only half a second behind the top 2. This is going to be a very frantic last 2 laps. DRS is enabled for 2 laps. Can APS Appy hold on to what looked like a very unexpected race win, considering what happened earlier in the race? And Hicklin is out. I believe he's retired in the pits. Hicklin, valiant effort defending from P3 and P4, but will not finish the race. Lil Semp then is released. Hyper, Dale behind. Spark is still on that group, still with DRS. And let's not forget DRS is now inactive now. So Rhea not close enough on Appy. DRS now kicks in. Appy defending. Rhea, Russ. Side by side. Hyper and Semp in turn 1. Looks like Hyper has the outside line. That is the preferred line for overtaking in turn 1. You do get a better exit on the outside of these corners. Hyper up to P4. Semp and Dale still having a fight. Spark now take her easy on the back of this group as well. 3 Dutchies on the podium, indeed it is. But which order will they be? Let's join for the last lap. Appy still defending for his life. Should have enough ERS to play with here, considering the late safety car. But Rhea and Russ will have DRS. Round the outside goes Rhea. A little bit forced onto the curb, and he's round. Russ is now up into P2, and APS Appy looks like perhaps he has won this race. But coming out the final corner, Russ looks like he's now got a better exit. He will have some DRS to the line, but will it be enough? It's a close finish, but APS Appy wins his home Grand Prix. It should have, maybe could have been 3 Dutch on the podium. But APS Rhea has to settle for 4th after a bit of a spin on the final lap, going for the move. And you'd have to say APS Rhea definitely deserved a spot on the podium. If not the race win tonight, he drove fantastically. Hyper gaining the podium by 0.3 of a second. I think APS Rhea will definitely be our driver of the day. He drove flawlessly in quali and the race, and had it not been for that slight moment on the last lap, could have, should have, maybe would have definitely had a podium. But APS Rhea hadn't put a foot wrong this evening. And maybe that wasn't his fault, who knows. But APS Rhea will get driver of the day. Appy, after some struggles earlier in the race, comes through to win by just a few tenths. Russ also struggling during the race and coming back, so good recovery drives from them too. Hyper on the podium, good result for him. Semp in 5th, take her easy 6th. Dale, Spark, Clouded, Tadpole and Tucker all in the points. Hicklin and Maverick classified, so will not get a DNF by their name. And many DNFs here this evening. So there you have it. Congratulations to APS Appy, who wins the race here this evening and extends the lead at the top of the drivers' standings by 10 points. Hyper getting what looked like an unlikely podium. 15 points for him. Gap is extended to 37 points out in front. Appy has a good advantage going into next week's Monza Grand Prix. Remember, the sprint format is on next week, so join us on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday evenings respectively for no assist, assist tier 1 and assist tier 2 with the sprint race format. If you want to know what that is, why not join us on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday? But for now, have a great end of the day, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.